KUAM TV 8, your broadcast home for the games of the 31st Olympiad. Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Another victim of child sex abuse has come forward.
Drugs and other items like a digital scale found inside DepCor.
And the Port's Hotel Wharf is in for a major overhaul. If you are watching us live on KUAM TV or streaming us on YouTube anywhere in the world, Hafaday, and thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Well, a public hearing for a substitute version of Bill 326 turned into a tearful testimony from one alleged victim of child sex abuse by multiple members of the church. While Archbishop Anthony Apparon has had 4 alleged victims come forward and accuse him of molestation, 3 others of the Archdiocese of Agana stand accused as of today.
We do warn you that this next report contains adult material. Crystal Paco has the story.
Not once, but 3 times 73-year-old Leo Tudela alleges he fell victim to child sex abuse in the church. In support of a substitute version of Bill 326, which lifts the statute of limitations for such cases, he detailed 3 painful and personal memories as a young altar boy leaving his home in Saipan to live in Guam to attend Catholic school. The year was 1956.
While I was staying at the Capuchin Fathers Monastery in Agana Heights, one night in the early morning hours, I was awakened by someone touching my private area, my penis, and massaging and masturbating me. He told me, "It's okay, I'm Brother Mariano." I told him to please leave me alone, but he continued to do what he was doing.
When Tudela told a member of the church, Tudela was moved to another church and introduced to Father Louis Brouillard. Brouillard invited Tudela to the Santa Teresita Church in Nangilao. Because the church sponsored the Boy Scouts, all altar boys were required to join. That's where he met his second alleged perpetrator, a high-ranking member of the church. Over 6 decades after the alleged incident, Tudela can only remember the man's name as Ignacio. While on a camping trip on Ajotnya Beach, Ignacio allegedly forced the boys to masturbate.
He told us to take our pants down and stop playing with our penis to masturbate.
On a third occasion, Tudela alleges he was sleeping when he was touched by Father Louis.
I looked up and saw Father Louis sitting to my left and told me, "It is okay. You will feel good and don't worry about anything." I was shocked and felt very uncomfortable. I was shaking, scared, and started to cry. I was totally embarrassed and ashamed of what Father Louis was doing to me. He was supposed to be a man of God.
Tudela now resides in Hawaii. His one request to lawmakers today is to make right what the church has failed to do.
For so many years, the Archdiocese appears to have failed to not only stop this incident, but also tolerate it and perpetuated his evil acts upon young, innocent boys. Be the voice of God by passing this very important legislation, and make your legacy be that you took bold action to protect all citizens and a step to correct the wrongs of the past done to innocent children.
Father Louis was listed on an official list of clergy members released by the Archdiocese of Duluth with credible allegations of child sexual abuse. He was removed from ministry in 1985. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Keeping with Bill 326, longtime social worker and licensed mental health counselor Vincent Pareda testified in support of the legislation. He also gave examples of the punishment that Archbishop Anthony Apron would have faced if convicted of rape or molestation in today's justice system.
Had he been reported when he committed these criminal acts back in the 70s when he was a parish priest, he would today, by current law, be charged with first and second degree criminal sexual conduct as first degree felonies, which are the most serious levels of criminal sexual conduct offenses. If convicted for these crimes, he would be facing a minimum of 15 years to life.
We should note Pareda was a member of the Archdiocesan Review Board, the group tasked with investigating sex abuse allegations in the church. Earlier this year, Pareda resigned from his position on the board because he recognized flaws in the policy which enabled the Archbishop to make all the decisions, even if he was the accused perpetrator. Policy was recently changed to ensure that if the Archbishop stands as the accused, he must recuse himself.
However, it was not unanimous support for the aforementioned Bill 326, as Dr. Zoltan Zekli told lawmakers today that the legislation remains unclear and unexplained.
I am concerned by the advent of politicizing faith matters in order to make politically motivated accusations and demands on a group of believers. Number 4, finally, I am greatly concerned that this bill might be intended to become a stepping stone toward making actual connections to vilify a certain group, faith group inside the Catholic Church.
He did note that although well-intentioned, the proposed bill in its current form cannot be supported.
Dozens of picketers continued their Sunday ritual outside the Hagåtña Cathedral, holding signs directed toward Guam's interim Archbishop, Savio Hantai Fai, telling him to stop collecting money for the Redemptorist Mater Seminary, as well as messages to defrock Archbishop Anthony Apron. Archbishop Han was appointed by the Vatican to serve the Archdiocese of Hagåtña as an apostolic administrator, while Apron has been placed on leave.
In other island news headlines, the women's detention facility was on lockdown after narcotics were found in an inmate's cell Sunday morning. And as our Nestor Lecanto now reports, the prison has launched an investigation to determine how the contraband may have been smuggled in.
The inmate was brought in on an outstanding warrant and family violence charges. She was being transferred to a new cell when corrections officers spotted a pouch containing suspected crystal methamphetamine and other drug paraphernalia like a digital scale, plastic straw, and baggies. Prison spokesman Jeff Limo says they're still trying to determine how she managed to get all that in.
You know, Joni's Duenza is no new confinement to Guam Corrections. She's an in and out recidivist inside here. They'll find ways. They'll find ways to try to smuggle it in here.
Limo said while the inmate confessed and was arrested, the incident prompted a crackdown. Everyone in the women's unit was subjected to urine tests. No others came back positive, and prison officials believe the drugs were limited to that one inmate.
There are stricter procedures in how we do things now to deter and how these guys are bringing it in through their seams of their pants or what have you. So we're looking at other methods to try to capture them.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Convicted burglar Jason A.M. Lazarus is sent on a one-way ticket home to Chuuk. Lazarus marks the third commuted prison sentence ordered by Governor Eddie Calvo, which is not to be confused with deportation. Lazarus came to Guam in 2011 and didn't prove while incarcerated that he would be able to sustain himself upon release back into the community, which would be in 4 months. He is banned from re-entering Guam and his name sent to relevant local agencies, federal stakeholders, and airlines.
It's time to take a quick commercial break. Please stay tuned. We're back after this.
Stay connected to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming, Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
who we can always count on, and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Some leaders are born. These leaders were educated. Register your future leader today at Mount Carmel School and set the path now.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
Real people, steel people. From heroes to homeowners, they choose steel for power, service, and value. Right now, hardworking steel blowers start at just $159.95. And introducing the BR450 CEF Backpack Blower, the world's only backpack blower with electronic start. Start and stop with a flip of a switch. Find your steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
In the market for a new or used car, Triple J says yes. Triple J Auto Group has the largest selection of brands on Guam. See for yourself at our newly enhanced website, triplejguam.com. We make it easy. First-time buyers welcome. 0 down. Trade-ins welcome. Get pre-approved instantly. Triple J says yes. Even get an instant trade-in offer all online. It's simple, safe, and secure. Plus, you can get a real-time view of the car of your dreams all at the touch of a finger. Why leave home when we can bring our dealerships to you? Triple J says yes at triplejguam.com. Triple J, customers first.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. It was first built back in 1948 and has not been in proper use for the last 15 years. And as Ken continues to report, thanks to a highly competitive grant, the Port Authority of Guam is preparing for a major facelift of Hotel Wharf.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. And in the port's case, the 8th time was the charm.
Tiger is a highly competitive grant. It's not given to us simply because, we're given a certain percentage because we're a territory of the United States. We are in competition with hundreds of other ports throughout the United States of America.
While a majority of the $500 million goes towards surface transportation projects, nearly $61 million from the Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery Grant went to only 5 ports throughout the nation. General Manager Joanne Brown says the 16th strategic seaport in the U.S. was a lucky recipient of $10 million.
What makes this significant is this initial $10 million will help begin the process of financing the rehabilitation of this wharf that is so critical. And again, I'm going to reiterate that critical infrastructure to the port's not just growth and development for the future, but current capacity and demands that we have available to us.
2 years ago, the Port Board authorized $500,000 to begin the design work for the facility. Brown says while the priority for the grant is toward roads and train tracks, they stress how for Guam and our neighboring islands, our ocean is essentially what connects us.
We have an intermodal role here at the Port of Guam in assisting and providing cargo to our neighboring islands. And certainly we felt it was a critical investment. We needed to make sure Washington, D.C. understood what a critical investment this was.
For more than a decade, Hotel Wharf hasn't been put to proper use and can't be permitted for operations by the U.S. Coast Guard. The rehabilitation will result in a multi-use facility for break bulk cargo, sand and aggregate, ro-ros, and cruise ships.
But we will be able to bring cruise ships here, and that is a big deal for us because all of you know that when we have to prepare our yard for a cruise ship, it's a tremendous burden. When you have operations going on and you have containers to move and heavy equipment to move around the yard,
The rehabilitation will further help the port meet the demands of the military buildup. The full refurbishment is estimated at $20+ million. Brown expects the rest of the financing to be realized through the port's tariff petition. Should that succeed, the port plans to break ground a year from now, with the work completed in time for Hotel Wharf's 70th birthday. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
In light of pending legislation, a medical cannabis patient workshop was held over the weekend to help educate the island community. Grassroots Guam and Women Grow Guam hosted the workshop for patients and caregivers to learn more about federal and local policy, cannabis as medicine and dosage and consumption. President Andrea Pellicani discussed the possibility of recreational cannabis.
If you see the difficulty that we're having, just having the conversation about medicine, I think that conversation is twice as hard when you're talking about a tax and regulate program that anybody can participate in. I don't think we're ready yet to have that conversation. And hopefully if we launch the right medical program, that people will feel confident in the way our government's regulating it. We'll see that law enforcement we're doing fine on all these things.
In the meantime, today marks the last day for Acting Governor Ray Tenorio to take action on Bill 345 that would officially reject the current rules for medicinal marijuana. Stakeholders had expressed concern with the current proposal. If no action is taken on the current rules, they'll lapse into law by next week as written.
The Guam Mobile Care Clinic will soon bring free primary and preventative care services to the people of Guam. The clinic is personally funded by Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. and will provide services including immunization, vision care, dental care, ultrasounds, BMI measurements, fitness tests, gym access, and much more.
This is going to be a free service to all the community with priority given to those without health insurance. But really, the main goal here is to get Guam healthier, whether it be mentally, spiritually, or physically.
The mission relies on volunteer services from local physicians and medical professionals. For more information on Sunday's event, visit toduguam.com.
Well, it is pageant season, and on Saturday, the contestants hoping to be crowned the next Miss World Guam attended orientation to learn more from the women who've been in their position before, including current crown holder Miss World Guam 2015, Aria Paris Tyson. So far, there are 9 island beauties competing for the crown, and the pageant is scheduled for October 12th.
Well, the search is also on for Mr. Guam. There are 25 strapping young men competing for the title, and according to a media release, the Mr. Guam organization aims to foster the Guamanian dream, as well as promote the island as a place where you can live, work, and visit. The Mr. Guam pageant is set for August 30th at the Sheraton. Sabrina will surely be there. A portion of the proceeds will go to benefit the First Lady's Regalia Foundation.
Well, it's not too late to join contestant number 26.
They have an age limit, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, we'll look into that during commercial break, so stay tuned. We'll let you know during our birthday shoutouts.
I prepare. I train. Through strength, determination, and focus. You can overcome anything because every step, every move brings you closer to your goals. This is what makes you an alpha.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and it's happening now at Cars Plus and Mighty. During our massive demo sale, you can save thousands on select 2015 and 2016 Dodges, Chryslers, Jeeps, Rams, Hyundais, and Fiat. All well maintained with low miles and still backed by the manufacturer's warranty. Or shop dozens of quality pre-owned vehicles, all reconditioned and ready for you. See our entire inventory online at carsplusguam.com. It's our massive demo sale going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
To prove how authentic my new Brewhouse Bacon Burger is, I'm going undercover at an actual brewhouse.
That's awesome. Amazing.
What if I told you you're eating a Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger from Jack in the Box?
Not this one. Not too reliant.
And what if I told you that I'm Jack?
Whoa!
Didn't see that coming, did you? Order ale cheese sauce, grilled onions, and bacon on an artisan potato bun. Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger. New from Jack in the Box.
Hey, where'd Jack go? He was just here.
Stones won't break our bones. We're in the car on a highway. It's a magical feeling that no one's got a home. 'Cause it's your home, it's alive, it's pumping blood. In a whole wide world, it's Switzerland. It's Switzerland.
One of these is not like the others, because only one triple doubles the seasoned beef, nacho cheese sauce, and crunchy tostada. Taco Bell's new limited edition triple double crunch wrap. It's one you don't want to miss.
I thought you said they got a Buick. I thought they did.
Is that a Buick?
So where are you? Using the built-in Wi-Fi in Tina's new Buick.
My grandpa used to drive a Buick.
It doesn't look like a Buick.
No kidding. Okay, who wants smoothies?
That's not your grandpa.
Now get this 2016 Buick Encore starting at $24,995. Visit AutoSpot Buick today for great offers. We are your Buick dealer of Guam.
Off today, Guam, Chris Barnett with sports. Summer Jam basketball tournament from the Tamuning Gym. The Sinania Rockers taking on the Tamuning Typhoons 2 in the 1800 division. Nathaniel Guyton, deuces with 2 of his 22 points. Billy Belger with a pass to Chris Conlou on the left-hand side. Gets the tough shot in the lane to fall like the price of DVDs. High off the glass for the score. Rockers holding on to the slim lead, pushing the ball. Mariano Mendiola loses the handle. Typhoons with the save. Brendan Santos with the heads-up play comes up with the ball and takes it right for the basket. Billy Belger driving toward the basket. Pull up Jay. Tekken, nothing but net. Belger working overtime. Belger off on the three-point attempt here. Devin St. Augustine with a rebound. Pushes it the other way, going coast to coast for the right-handed finish. Go Glass. Belger, he ain't done, son. Still trying to pad his numbers late in the game. Takes it in for another bucket. He finished the game with 29 points. Now check out the nice cut. Butterhouse to the basket by Hezekiah Cruz for the reverse layup. All about that baseline for Sinania. Billy Belger assists to Kyle Calario. Drives left. Quick step to find some space. Spark it. The Jays good for 2. Rockers win 70-56. Nice ball movement to find Kyle Barcial trailing. Barcial misses on the first attempt. Stays with it and gets his own tip in. Keep it with basketball now. Team Guam taking on University of the East out of Manila in the Guam Invitational Basketball Tournament Championship game. Joe Blas to Will Stinnett. Stinnett in it to win it. Nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Ollie Bradley at the top of the key. Three-pointer up. Good. Edgar Charcos going hard like Viagra in the paint. No good. Teammate Nick Abanto got his back, though. Put up is good for UE. Inbound by Team Guam to Ollie Bradley. Bradley trying to get inside. Good D by Abanto. Bradley kicks the ball out to Darren Hechanova. Pump fake, pull up, spark it, Jay off. Curtis Washington with the putback, and he gets the roll in. Toilet paper. Ronnie DeLeon looking to screen for Edgar Charcos. DeLeon slide off the defender, spots up for the shot in the corner. Eat that money. Darren Hechanova with the behind-the-back dribble. Nice pass to Curtis Washington. DL Washington with the basket and the foul. Three-point play was good after he hit that free throw. Charcos, nice move, wow, to get to the rim, count the basket and the foul. He would miss the free throw, though. Now, Team Guam, big win, 76-68. Deflected pass by Will Stinnett. McKelly Wesley back to Stinnett, who finds Joe Blas running. Blas with the lay-in. Go Guam!
Every championship game is going to be rough. Every championship game is going to be scrappy. So we came out there, and then we struggled at first with the pressure. But, after adjusting, making in-game adjustments, our guys really stepped up.
This is the only time we're getting together in 2016 as a national team to compete. So it was a good learning experience for us. 2017 is a huge year for Guam basketball, for our men's program. We're expecting to have a couple big trips where we're going to be playing against FIBA competition once again. And we're representing the top of the Pacific now, so we hope to be climbing the rankings.
With on-field temperatures at a 115 degrees, Guam's 18-under rugby squad brought a little heat of their own, taking 7th place in the Asia Schools Rugby Tournament. After losing to China 45-0 and Malaysia 25-5, Team Guam played Mongolia for the 7th place shield. Guam completely dominating Mongolia, with Tonu Nicholas earning Guam Player of the Tournament honors. His strong, direct, straightforward running was just too much for the tiring Mongolians, and he was rewarded with 4 tries. Jeremy Chargalov added a 5th try to give Guam a big 27-zip win over Mongolia. According to the Team Guam under-18 coaches, the team is going to work harder to close the gap between it and the other Asian rugby school squads. Make sure to watch the 2016 Rio Summer Olympics opening ceremony broadcast right here on KUAM TV8, of course, Saturday, 9:30 in the morning. Don't miss Team Guam coming out. The repeat, 6:30 p.m. You can see KUAM.com or the KUAM News app for a complete Summer Olympics schedule. Adios!
This is a cat. And this is a live photo of a cat. Live photos are more than just photos. They come alive when you touch them. And then they go back to still when you let go. So every time you take a picture, you get more than just a photo. You get to relive the moment because it teleports you through space and time. I'm kidding. Time travel is dangerous.
The Nissan Summer Fun event is on. Nissan's got your back with the No Worries Car Care Plan. Your new Nissan comes with a free 3-year protection plan and free paint sealing. Enjoy discounts up to $10,000 during the Summer Fun event when you choose from the award-winning lineup of Nissan cars, trucks, and SUVs. Take advantage of super low, easy financing and save even more at Nissan Upper Tumon. Nissan Summer Fun event. Find out more at nissanguam.com.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast! Blast off! And now, birthdays are more of a blast than ever! Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double! Kid can be a kid.
Watch the waves crash over bare feet as you stand back and feel the sun's heat radiating upon your face today. Summer's alive. That's why we feel this way. That's why we feel this way. Summertime and the summer heat. Grab a lover and move your feet. We gon' make it hot for you. Hot, hot, hot for you. Summer breeze in the summer nights. So I never felt so alive. We gon' make it hot for you. Hot, hot, hot for you. Summertime in the island heat. Grab a lover and move your feet. We gon' make it hot for you. Hot.
Join us at the Guam Summer Beach Fest for live entertainment, food, and fun. For event details, check out visitguam.com. This is a GBB signature event.
Catch the finger food craze that's taking over the world. Start with McDonald's delicious, shareable Chicken McNuggets. 20 for $5.99. And don't forget your favorite sauce. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
It is Monday, so that means we have a bunch of people to make very happy by saying happy birthday. It's our pleasure to do so. So these are newest members of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday, number 43, to Mr. Rick Camacho. This comes from Bruce and from Rollin.
Happy 3rd birthday going out to Josiah Ethan Pablo.
Happy birthday to Papa Luke Navarro. We love you, from Paco Vanessa and the grandkids and the great grandkids. That is an awesome birthday greeting.
Happy 8th birthday to Kiani Pangaline with love from your family.
And we would be remiss if we neglected to mention the belated birthday baby. This is Ana Borja Maria Leon Guerrero. May all your wishes come true, sis, from your other sister, Angie, and brother-in-law, David. Awesome.
You can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Head on over to KUAM.com.
And use hashtag happy birthday if you wish. That's cool too. All right, you know what's cool? What's next? So stay tuned.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.
Welcome to another edition of Cruising with KUAM. Behind the wheel is Isa Baza, and in the passenger seat is former Guam Olympian and running coach Amy Atkinson. Amy is a George Washington High School alum, where she graduated valedictorian. She is a former member of the Guam national soccer team and represented Guam in the 2012 Summer Olympics in London. Although she didn't advance to the semifinals, she did break the national 800-meter record. She was recently visiting Guam to lead a running clinic. She is currently a health teacher and running coach in Seoul, Korea.
Thanks for joining us, Amy. We're for Cruising with KUAM. So for those who don't know, you're a world-acclaimed athlete. Can you tell us a little bit about your athletic career?
Sure, yeah. So Guam is such a special place, both because of the people and culture here, but also our opportunities for athletics. And for me, moving here at age 12, sports was really what helped me get involved with the community here. And so I was a big soccer player and actually started playing with the Guam Football Association and traveling for the Guam team, and just really loved the community there, and then ran track in high school. And so just got a lot of opportunities to represent the island from a young age. But then I went on to university to play college soccer in Southern California. So that was a big goal of mine. And then while I was there, I continued to come back to Guam and run in some of the races for the Guam Track and Field Association. And then it was just really neat because as I progressed, they invited me to keep coming back. My family is still here, and so every summer I get to go and race. So that all led up to the London Olympics, and just blows me away when I moved here. I never imagined that would happen, and just the support of the people here has been amazing. So yeah, that was kind of probably the culminating event of my athletic career, but I continue to love the sport of running and soccer.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the London Olympics? That was in 2012, and I understand you actually broke a record.
Yes. Well, the cool part about that story is I was training and doing really well. I was finishing up school in Southern California, and I ended up actually hurting my foot in March, and I didn't think I was going to recover in time for London, but just continued to train and just had hope, and I had a lot of support and prayers from people here. And so I went to Australia that summer and was able to qualify, and they told me I had made the team, and so I got to go to Manchester with Derek Mandel to a training camp and was there a month before the opening ceremonies. And then as the race approached, just continued to prepare mentally and physically. But the cool part was that breaking the record had been my goal to do that there, and with the injury, it just had been discouraging. But I get into that day, I just felt a lot of peace and excitement that all these people were rooting for me, and I put in the best work I possibly could, and got into the race and just ran my best, and it ended up being like this amazing experience that I was able to break the record on that day. And I was just really thankful that God allowed me that opportunity after the injury. So I think the big part of it was the support of people here too.
So I mean, going into it, did you have any idea that you would be breaking a record?
I mean, it was my goal. I was on track to run that time, but with the setback, it was a little bit like, oh, is this going to happen? And honestly, I think as a runner, and what I tell my athletes is that you have to do your best with setbacks. You have to be resilient. You can't give up, and mentally you have to stay positive. And so I had this hope it would happen, but I also knew regardless of if I set the record or not, it was about racing my best that day. And so it was pretty fun actually, because the girls I was racing against, some of them were ranked, top 10 in the world, from Canada and Burundi and Sudan. And I was able to stay with them throughout the whole race, and they really kicked it in the last 200 meters where I couldn't hold on to make it into the next round. But I think they helped me set the record because we ran at that good pace. So.
Okay, and are you still holding that record today?
Yes, yeah, still. I mean, obviously every record's meant to be broken, so my goal as a coach now is to obviously help younger athletes train and get faster. So I know someday somebody will break it, and that'll be exciting. But as of now, it still stands. Yeah.
Stay tuned. Up next, Amy talks about what it takes to make it to the Olympics when cruising with KUAM continues.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with an
on what's my plan to compete best.
Okay, because especially to get to a level like the Olympics, to compete with athletes of that caliber, it's not just physical preparation; it's a lot of mental preparation.
Totally.
So, what do you do to prepare for a race in an event like the Olympics? I mean, mentally.
A huge part of it is mental. I think with any athlete, there's a certain resiliency that you have to have because there's lots of changes. There's nerves, there's everything. And so for me, I always visualize the race I want to run at least 2 days before. I kind of imagine myself in that race and what I want to do at different parts in the race. And if this happens, if somebody trips or if somebody goes out fast, what am I going to do in that situation? And you kind of walk yourself through it in your head. And then I also go back to, and I think about workouts that I've had where I had really good workouts, or I think about what was a setback and how did I come back from that, or what's all the sacrifice I've done to get to this place. And so I think you kind of, or the people that are rooting for me, who am I representing? Why do I do what I do? And so I think when you think about those things, it puts it all in perspective and gives you the strength to compete at your best. And you just can't let the anxiety and fear of performing take over your joy of the sport, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Yeah. What about the night before? I mean,
do
you get nerves?
Yeah, I definitely, you do always there's some sense of nerves, like that helps you perform better, that adrenaline building up. But for me, the night before is actually really neat. When I was there, my brother I was away for like 2 months before because I was in Manchester training first. And my little brother had actually made me a DVD video with a bunch of pictures of our family and friends here from Guam and other places with some music and almost like a way to say all these people are rooting for you. So that night before, I really just spent time kind of praying about my race and listening to that and just kind of relaxing, actually knowing, hey, there's nothing else I can do now. It's tomorrow, so I just need to stay calm and have fun.
Okay, so that's the mental preparation. And you talked a little bit about your training, but say for students here in Guam, maybe they're in high school, maybe they're soccer players, soccer stars, or they're in cross country or track and field. At what point do you say, hey, maybe I can train to go to the Olympics, and where does your road begin? What are the next steps for you?
That's a great question. Obviously, with the way Guam works with having a different kind of qualifying system, with the way they award different wild cards or choose the athletes to go, it is individual sports that are going, not a whole soccer team is going. So it is, it's normally cycling or track and field or swimming, those individual sports. And you have to gain points in international competition to prove that you're at a level to compete. So I would say if there's people that are interested in competing in those, you have to do your hard work to make yourself the most competitive athlete possible and get your foot in the door with those organizations. So if you're a track and field athlete, going to the different Guam track and field events, go to the national meet, run in those races, get your name out there and continue to train. It's not just it's a year-round, like 5-year-round like phase. Like this is something that we talk about as coaches. It's that you have to have a long-term goal. So it's going to take you more than just a few months or a year to get to that point. So I would say you have to work backwards from at least 4 to 5 years from that goal to really be at your top.
Coming up after the break, Amy talks about her mentors, those who've inspired her to keep her Olympic dreams alive.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D. Life in motion.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.
So did you have some kind of mentor or someone who really kept your dream alive or kept pushing you to do this? Or
yeah, that's a great question. I feel like there's lots of people, but those that stand out, a big one is my dad. Actually, when I was about 13 or 14 here on Guam and I was running track and field for high school, I remember him telling me, I think you're going to go to the Olympics for Guam someday. And I was like, no, Dad. Like, at first I was just like, that seems like way too far out there. And I just remember him looking me in the eye and saying, never put limitations on what you can do, because you've set a roof to your goal. So he said, you need to expect the unexpected and then do the work to get there and see what happens. So I think for my dad, he continually spoke that support over me and came to all my races and got me into meets over the summer to get exposure to things. And so I would say he was probably my biggest mentor in that journey. But then I've had, my soccer coaches were great in helping build my endurance. Jay Antonio was my high school coach that helped me get stronger in running. I had a professional coach in Southern California, Mark Cleary, who helped train me leading up to this.
Okay, so when did you leave Guam? Because after the Olympics, you ended up moving off Ireland. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey after the London Olympics?
Yeah, it's definitely, I get a little reflective now that there's another Olympics to kind of like look back at the last 4 years and how is the time flowing. But for me, I came back to Guam for the year after the Olympics. I taught at Jose Rios Middle School and coached the track and field program there. So that was really neat to have that experience of representing Guam and then getting to come back and work with kids and the youth and just get to share my story and the love of the sport with them. And it was a really hard decision for me to actually relocate off of Guam, but my family decided to move back to Oregon to be closer to my grandparents, and they had just been away for so long. And so I kind of had to make the choice to either stay on Guam or be near my family for a season. So I decided after that year to go and work for a couple years in Oregon, get to spend time with my grandparents and cousins and brothers. And so I did that for 2 years, but then my nomadic spirit, I just love adventure. I have to have goals in my life. And I decided I wanted to teach internationally. I wanted to try something different. So just this past year, I moved to Seoul, Korea, and started teaching at an international school in Seoul. And I coach cross country there and also started a track and field program at that school. But the neat thing is that there's the Asia Pacific Invitational Cross Country Championships here on Guam, which my high school coach, Jay Antonio, started, and I ran in the first one. And now I get to bring my athletes back here to compete. So it's been cool how I get to come back to Guam because I miss it. It's still my home.
So your ties with Guam aren't over yet.
No.
They're continuing.
Yep. Yeah. So my goal is to continue to come back here as often as I can while I'm teaching in Seoul. And I've just learned that you can make plans, but you never know exactly where you're going to end up. And I really am enjoying the international experience right now. I've gotten to travel with my athletes to Hong Kong and Japan and gotten some cool opportunities through that job.
Okay, and before I went on this cruising with you, I was talking to some people at the station, and you actually went to school with one of our reporters, Crystal Paco.
Oh, yes.
And she was mentioning that you were valedictorian.
Oh, yes, Krista. She's not supposed to tell my secret.
So how did you, keeping up your academics like that, how did you balance your athletic career with your academics, and how do you continue to do that? You spend a lot of time coaching, traveling, you still have a professional career, so how does that balance work out?
Yeah. I think with anything, you kind of have to decide what's most important to you, and we're only given so much time in a day, and you have to make sacrifices. It's not that one thing is better than another, but you have to choose for you what's going to be that. And I think I knew that my family couldn't really afford for me to go to pay for a full university, but I also wanted to go off island and play college soccer, and so I just realized I need to get a scholarship to do this. So that was a big motivation for me as I worked really hard in school and decided, this is something I love. I'm always a learner. I love school. I love learning new things. So I was motivated both because I like the subjects, but also because I was like, I need to do the best I possibly can. And with sports, I loved it, and I'm a competitor. I want to be at the top of my game. I'm frustrated with myself if I know I could have done better and I didn't. So I think that just kind of transfers to both. I just wanted to be the best I could be, and that's just kind of how I'm wired. I'm a disciplined person. I like to do it. So I would give up, I wouldn't stay out super late or necessarily do all the social events, but my friends were my teammates, that I just played tons of soccer with, and come home and do lots of homework and wake up and do it again.
Awesome. So, but why Korea? What made you decide to go to Korea of all places?
The big thing, the organization I work with, it's called Network of International Christian Schools, and they have schools all over the world, so in every continent. And so I applied with the organization because they had spoke to my university, and I knew they had a lot of really reputable schools. But when I started talking to them about what placement would be best, and with my experience with sports and the Olympics, this school in Korea is pretty high academics and high athletics. And so they just thought, we think you'd be a great fit here since you kind of grew up in Asian culture and in Guam. And so they were the ones that placed me at that school. And I'm so blessed to be there because I get to have this connection with Guam, a moment 4-hour flight away.
Still to come, invaluable tips from Amy to get you on the right path to living a more healthy lifestyle.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.
It's time to take your Crunchwrap love to the next level. Literally. With a whole new level of seasoned beef, nacho cheese sauce, and crunchy tostada. Taco Bell's new limited edition Triple-Double Crunchwrap. You'll triple-double love it.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and it's happening now at Cars Plus and Mighty. During our massive demo sale, you can save thousands on select 2015 and 2016 Dodges, Chryslers, Jeeps, Rams, Hyundais, and Fiats. All well-maintained with low miles and still backed by the manufacturer's warranty. Or shop dozens of quality pre-owned vehicles, all reconditioned and ready for you. See our entire inventory online at carsplusguam.com. It's our massive demo sale going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the Fresh Garden Bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.
I've definitely noticed since I've been back to Guam. I'm also a runner. I'm not a professional runner, but I do love to run, and I've noticed that running has really taken off, and maybe just fitness in general in Guam. I mean, every weekend there are several 5Ks, and people are taking the time to get active. And so, how do you feel that the running culture has kind of transformed from when you were growing up here to where it is today?
Yeah, I definitely say I think the running culture has always been alive on Guam, but I think it's a lot more supported by different sponsors. There's a lot more awareness by everybody on the island. So I think that there's always been that core group of the Guam Running Club, people that have loved it, but now that love is expanding and spreading to everyone. And I just love it. I'm so encouraged. I'm a health teacher and coach, so I'm always promoting that a healthy, active lifestyle just benefits you more than just your physical body, just mentally, and you build a community. And so I think for me, it's encouraging coming back to Guam because you show up at a race and you see everybody, there's all these people there. People are encouraging each other. So I've seen a lot more international runners coming coming to Guam now too, I think because of the GIM and the advertising there. And so it's fun to see Guam become this well-known place even globally for running.
Definitely, I can understand like when you say that the 5K, sometimes it's not even about raising money or getting fit. People are just there because it's a huge social event.
Exactly.
Everyone you know is going to be there, especially I'm in some running clubs and we have our little chat groups and everyone's talking about which 5K they're going to go to this week, which one that week. But you know, with a lot of people getting more involved in running, you know, especially with events like GIM, people running their first half marathons or full marathons. And speaking of your running clinic, you know, what are some tips that local runners should know to get their form right or avoid injury?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something that both Charlie and I are trying to emphasize through these clinics is you kind of have to have a long-term goal. So I think the temptation could sometimes be on Guam, there's so many opportunities to race that you could say, oh, I'm going to race every weekend. I'm going to try to do every race. I'm going to try to beat my time every single time. But it's not realistic to maintain, you know, every 7 days that you're pushing your body to the max and expecting to get faster. You almost have to decide, okay, which races in this year or 2-year cycle do I really want to focus on? And then you kind of build back from that race in a training plan that allows you to prevent injury. So say there's different phases you can go through, and that's something we talk about in the clinics. And I think that really helps you because then you get to see this big result. And so I think that people should be encouraged to participate in the Guam running events as much as possible and do all of them, but maybe just look at the calendar and say, okay, these are the ones I really want to do well at, mark them down, and then make a plan from there.
Okay, so overextending yourself, overrunning can be a problem, can cause injury.
Yes, rest is huge. I had to learn that the hard way. I used to think I just have to run hard every single time I go out, and then I got injured, and then I realized when I started incorporating these principles in and cross training and strength training and swimming and taking rest days, I actually got faster. I run faster in a race after doing that than when I just tried to go hard every day.
Okay, so you know, not incorporating rest days, cross training to strengthen other parts of your body, and you know, people mention running form a lot. I mean, can you run the wrong way?
Yeah, I think that every person naturally can have that natural form, but I think that sometimes we have practices in our daily lives that we learned some bad form and just continue to do it, or we sit at a desk all day and we're slunched over, and so that your muscles get tight and that affects your form. So I do think that even though some people think, oh, it's running, just go out and run, you do have to practice good form. And a big thing I learned through track and field and even through soccer is you have to warm up those specific muscle groups. So Charlie and I in our running clinics focus a lot about running drills and forms and things you can think about to be efficient so that your energy isn't wasted when you run.
Okay, and so you mentioned that you're here, the training is affiliated with the Guam Runners Club.
Yes.
So, you know, if people are aspiring runners, maybe they're not trying to be an Olympic athlete, but they just want to get fit, or, you know, maybe run their first marathon or full half marathon, full marathon. Yes. Is the Guam Runners Club a good place to start?
Definitely. So the Guam Running Club has events throughout the year, and they're really structured well because they build up to like the Guam Half Marathon or the different marathons. So they have different distances that you can run, and there's the calendar that you can look up on there, and just a great community of really experienced runners. So I think even someone that's starting out, getting plugged in with the Guam Running Club, they could meet other people that are at a similar place, or could give them advice, or even become training partners for them.
Okay, and so you've run in a lot of different places. You've run some big races. What are coming from Guam and building your running career here? What are some of the differences with running in Guam compared to other places, or what are some of the things that runners in Guam are faced with?
Okay, yeah. Well, obviously the heat. It's pretty humid and hot here. I actually miss it. When I get back here, it's kind of comforting. I like it, but I do think that you have to acclimate, to that, and choosing strategic times to run. That's why a lot of the races start really early in the morning. But I think something I've learned through Guam is that one of the best parts of it is that there can be these consistent races and they're cheap. So you can get a lot of exposure to the sport in a community that you can't get other places where races are super expensive or you have to drive really far or travel. But then also you don't have necessarily all the diversity of terrain and race locations here, if that makes sense. So I know some people could think, oh, it gets a little monotonous, but for me, actually, this has been my favorite place to race. I got to do a run in California through the Avenue of the Giants and the trees, and it was beautiful, and I loved it, but I was like, there's nothing that quite compares to Guam's community of runners, and even getting to say, oh, I could do the same race, the same course every year and see how I've improved, if that makes sense.
Okay, so we're just about to finish up our cruising here. Just to wrap it up, you know, what are your hopes for not only your future, any future plans to continue your running career, and what is your hope for running in Guam or the Olympics, the future of athletes in Guam?
Yeah, you know, I think for me, I still love to run. I have goals to continue to compete. I think the last couple of years I've shifted my focus from being a competitive athlete to more of a coach, and getting to see younger athletes realize their dreams. And I still continue to love to train and do that, and so I'll always pursue that. It's my lifestyle. But I think what I've just learned is that if you can give other people the tools to find the joy of running, to find that it just goes beyond the physical, that it can be this stress relief or this way to set goals for yourself. I think that's the biggest thing I would say to athletes on Guam is set a goal for yourself, stick to it, and see how running can also help you be resilient in other places of your life. I found that sometimes I look back on this hard race or thing I did to train for it, and when something else is hard on my life, I think, okay, I can overcome this too. So I would just say, find a community, set a goal, and just really enjoy the experience.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah.
It was great to meet
nice
you.
to meet
Thanks
you
for
too.
cruising with us. And don't forget, you can watch the Olympics on KUAM TV8 all throughout August.
Triple J says yes. Check out our new and enhanced website at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every vehicle in our inventory, instant trade-in, plus easy financing. Triple J says yes. Visit triplejguam.com.